So at this point, we've been learning how to add styles to the type on our website, and it's looking pretty good. In this particular web page, we've been adding Google Fonts to have a unique heading, subheading, and even a unique paragraph, ordered list, unordered list, etc. So this is looking pretty good. The problem is that every website in the world, well, I should say almost every website in the world, has more than one page on their site. But this particular page, all of the styles for this page are on this one page. So it's only applying to this page. It won't apply to any other page on the website. So for instance, this page is also in the same folder. It's part of the same website, and yet look at how different it looks. It just doesn't look consistent. They don't look like each other at all. So it's going to confuse your end user and is a bad design principle, or is a bad design, I should say. So, and the reason why this is happening is because this page has different styles than this page. So one thing we can do is we can copy this and come over here and replace the entire style here. And then when we save this, all of a sudden, we do have somewhat looking the same font. All of a sudden, we realize we forgot all these links to the specific fonts, the specific Google fonts. So we can add that outside of the style tag, save that, and now it's looking the same. So that looks pretty good. However, the problem is that when you do that, all of a sudden, if you make a change somewhere, you add more styles. Let's say instead we want this to be red. Okay, sounds good. We can save it. This one looks red. We come over here and it's still light blue. So then you have to come over here and change this to red. Well, you can imagine how tedious this would be if you had 5 pages, 10 pages, or like Amazon, thousands of pages. It's just not feasible to ask everybody to remember each setting and go fix it on every single page. So instead, what we need to do is we need to move these styles to what we call a cascading style sheet. It's a different sheet. It's one page with all your styles, and then we link each page in your website to that style page, so you only have to change it on that one style page, and it makes the changes all across the site. So here's what we're going to do. In our secondary page, I can go ahead and delete all the styles. If I save this, it's going to go back to the default browser style. On this page, I'm actually going to delete this as well, but I'm not going to delete it. I'm going to cut it. So Control or Command X to cut it. If you're nervous about that, you can copy it. Just don't forget to come and delete it over here the next time you're on this page. And we're going to create File New, and we're going to change this. Instead of HTML, we're going to make this CSS. Now we're going to save this as styles.css in the same folder where those other pages are. So we'll go to Desktop, Web Design 1, Module 2, styles.css. So you can see the Google Fonts page and the testing type page. I have other pages in here, but we're not messing with those. So we'll go ahead and hit save. So now we're going to paste the style, and this time we don't need the style tag because the whole page is all about styles. So we can go ahead and do that there. Now normally these wouldn't be like so indented, but it's a little bit tedious to fix them. I guess we'll do it just so you can see. Okay, so we'll do File, Save. Okay, so now that style has been saved. However, if I go back to Google Fonts and save this, it's still going to be the default style. Well, the reason why is because I need to link that page now. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy and paste some code. You can type this in there. And I'm going to link to the style sheet, and the URL is whatever the style sheet name was that we just gave it. So we called it styles.css. If you called it my-styles.css, you should put that there. So now when I hit File, Save, all of a sudden that style comes back. Now when I come over here and I add that same link, let's go ahead and copy and paste that. And I put it in here and save that. Now all of a sudden this has a style too. So watch what happens when I come over here and start changing this. So let's say I change this to purple. See how it changes it there? And let's say I change the paragraph to have a font color of blue. Again, these are garish. just so we can see if it's working, and it is working. So we can come over here and change this to yellow. Okay, well, and you can't see that there because it's we don't have an H2 on the page, but if we come look at this one, you can see that it is in fact working. So it's happening across both pages. I only had to change it once on this styles page, but now it's going across both pages. So if I wanted to create a new page for this website, what I would do is I would go to File, New, and I need all that same like basic code. So I'm going to copy all of this and go to my untitled page. And it's gray because I forgot to choose HTML. Where is it? Sorry. So File, Save As. I'm just going to call this page 3, and put it in the same exact folder. And this page 3 doesn't need to have any of this text because we want to test this out. So we can do page 3, save it. And now you can see everything I add in here. If I start adding the P tag, oops, this is a paragraph. And then maybe I do an H2, hello, second heading. Now if I save that, you can see that it's adding all of those styles in automatically because we've linked to that particular style sheet that tells it what an H1, a paragraph, and an H2 should look like. If we added something in that didn't have styles for it, like a table, then it would just look like the default browser style for a table.